Okay, here we go with this incredibly entertaining story out of Canada. Male powerlifter breaks women's record held by biological male in protest of transgender policy. So I'm not a powerlifter expert or even have a lot of background, but basically on this story, this is just fantastic. This is trolling. This guy wins the troll of the week. Let's just put it this way. So this weightlifter, Avi Silverberg, I believe his name is. He is a weightlifter coach. Yes, Avi Silverberg. He's a weightlifter coach, and he noticed that in Canada, if you haven't followed this a little bit, he noticed in Canada that a short time ago, a man entered the Canadian women's powerlifting contest and won. He won like 8 out of 9 contests he entered. He won. And because in February, the Canadian Powerlifting Union, or whatever it's called, decided that they would let anybody enter any category as long as they identified that way. And, it basically, that just makes it a free-for-all. And it opens up men to enter into the women's category if they say they're a woman. And it's just patently absurd. So this guy who apparently calls himself Andres, was actually sitting in the front seat or the front row when this guy came along and broke his record. And he did it in a way, I mean, look at this guy. This guy's the picture of a weightlifter, right? The whole beard and everything. This guy is obviously a man, and he entered this women's contest totally to punk and to troll the Canadian Powerlifting Union and Ann Andrews, who was the previous winner. He didn't break any rules in the process. According to Redux, the meet was held under the sanction of the Canadian Powerlifting Union, which announced a gender self-identification policy earlier this year. The new policy allows any males to participate in women's competitions based upon gender alone. The trans inclusion policy was officially released in February and essentially stated that if a man says they're a woman, anything goes. Anything goes. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that like a show tune? Anything goes. I don't know. I don't know. It could be a show tune. Sounds like a show tune. Based on this background and available evidence, the expert working group felt that trans athletes should be allowed to participate in the gender in which they identify, regardless of whether or not they have undergone hormone therapy. The document reads, the policy was based upon guidance provided by the Canadian Centre for Ethics in Sports. Yeah, I wonder where they get their money from. This is just pure gold. This is trolling gold by Avi Silverberg. These are the types of things that need to happen in order to shed light on this topic. It has to be women that protect women's sports, yes, but men can play a role, like Avi Silverberg here, when they absolutely positively troll women's sports. Like, let's just give you an example. Let's give you an analogy. If I don't necessarily like this player, but let's just say if LeBron James all of a sudden identified as a woman and then played in a WNBA game, that would just like blow up the whole topic, right? And basically this is what this guy just did for Canadian powerlifting. If LeBron James says, I'm now a woman, I'm going to go play in the WNBA, right? This would be like, everyone would say that's ridiculous. And it is ridiculous. And that's what needs to happen. People got to continue to troll, especially in this athletic situation, these types of events. And good for him. Good for Avi Silverberg and his he's a man, right? And he knows it, and he's going to go back to being man. He was just trolling them. That's it. Punking them. Good job. Keep up the good work. I don't know if we want to go so far as that Canadian teacher with the, I don't know if we want to go as far as that. especially because that involves school children. But otherwise, keep up the good work.